For thousands of years, the story of Atlantis has captivated minds, inspired countless explorations, and fueled endless debates. This legendary lost civilization, described by the ancient philosopher Plato, has become more than just a myth. It's a symbol of human curiosity and the desire to uncover hidden truths. But what if there's more to the tale than we've been led to believe? What if Atlantis wasn't just a figment of imagination, but a real place swallowed by the sea? Today, we're diving deep into the heart of this enduring mystery, exploring the origins of the legend, the evidence that keeps it alive, and the questions that still haunt historians and adventurers alike. From Plato's ancient writings to modern scientific theories, we'll uncover the clues that could rewrite history and challenge everything we thought we knew about the past. Join us on this journey to discover whether Atlantis was more than just a myth and what its story might reveal about our own world. The story of Atlantis begins with the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, whose dialogues Timaeus and Critias contain the first known written account of this lost civilization. In these works, Plato describes Atlantis as a mighty and technologically advanced society, flourishing on an island larger than Asia Minor and Libya combined. It was a place of immense wealth, governed by powerful kings who extended their influence far beyond their shores. But according to Plato, this thriving civilization met a catastrophic end. After attempting to conquer Athens, Atlantis fell out of favor with the gods, and in a single day and night of devastation, the entire island sank into the ocean, vanishing without a trace. Plato's tale has fascinated readers for centuries, but its purpose remains a subject of debate. Was Atlantis a real place, a historical event exaggerated over time, or was it a moral allegory, a cautionary tale about hubris and the consequences of defying divine will? Plato himself often used myths to illustrate philosophical ideas, and some scholars argue that Atlantis served as a metaphor for the downfall of societies that lose their way. Others, however, believe the story could have roots in actual events, perhaps inspired by ancient natural disasters like the eruption of Thera or the collapse of the Minoan civilization. Regardless of its origins, the legend of Atlantis has endured, sparking endless speculation and inspiring explorers, historians, and dreamers alike. It's a story that invites us to wonder about the mysteries of the past and the lessons we can learn from it. And as we dig deeper into this ancient enigma, we'll explore the theories, evidence, and enduring questions that keep the legend of Atlantis alive today. When we turn to Plato's account of Atlantis, we find ourselves stepping into a world that blends vivid detail with tantalizing mystery. In his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, Plato paints a picture of a civilization so advanced and yet so enigmatic that it has captivated imaginations for millennia. He describes Atlantis as a sprawling island kingdom, larger than ancient Libya and Asia combined, located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now know as the Strait of Gibraltar. But it's not just the size of Atlantis that fascinates, it's the intricate design of its capital city that truly stands out. The city was said to be built in a series of concentric rings, alternating circles of water and land connected by bridges and canals. At its center stood a majestic temple dedicated to Poseidon, adorned with precious metals and ivory, a testament to the wealth and sophistication of this lost civilization. Surrounding it were other grand structures, including palaces and public buildings, all meticulously planned and constructed. Plato even mentions advanced engineering feats such as irrigation systems and waterways, suggesting a level of technology that seemed almost impossibly ahead of its time. Yet, for all the vivid detail, there are elements in Plato's story that strain credulity. He claims that Atlantis existed 9,000 years before his own time, a timeline that places its rise and fall in an era long before any known civilization. This, coupled with the fantastical descriptions of its people and their divine ancestry, has led many to question whether Plato's account is more myth than history. Was Atlantis a real place buried beneath the waves by some cataclysmic event? Or was it an elaborate allegory, a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris and greed? The contradictions in Plato's narrative have fueled both skepticism and belief. Skeptics argue that the story's fantastical elements, like the claim that Atlantis was founded by the god Poseidon, make it hard to take at face value. Believers, on the other hand, point to the specificity of the details as evidence that Plato might have been drawing from real, albeit embellished, sources. This tension between fact and fiction is what keeps the legend of Atlantis alive, inviting us to wonder whether this lost civilization was once a reality or simply a product of one of history's greatest minds. The search for Atlantis didn't begin with modern explorers or satellite imagery. It started centuries ago, rooted in the curiosity of ancient scholars. Plato's dialogues, written over 2 millennia ago, were the spark that ignited generations of thinkers to wonder, could this lost city be more than just a myth? In the centuries that followed, philosophers, historians, and even theologians tried to piece together clues from Plato's descriptions, often interpreting them through the lens of their own time and knowledge. During the Renaissance, when Europe rediscovered classical texts, Atlantis became a subject of fascination once again. Scholars like Leonardo da Vinci and Francis Bacon speculated about its possible location, blending ancient wisdom with emerging scientific thought. By the 19th century, interest in Atlantis took on a new life thanks to thinkers like Ignatius Donnelly. Donnelly wasn't just a casual enthusiast, he was a man on a mission. In his groundbreaking book, Atlantis, the Antediluvian World, he argued that Atlantis wasn't just a legend but a real, advanced civilization that had been wiped out by a massive catastrophe. He proposed that its survivors scattered across the globe, influencing cultures from Egypt to the Americas. While Donnelly's theories were met with skepticism by the scientific community, they captured the public's imagination, fueling a wave of speculation and pseudoscience. This era marked a turning point in how Atlantis was perceived. No longer confined to philosophical debates, it became a subject of wild theories, some claiming it was the cradle of all human civilization, others suggesting it housed extraterrestrial technology. These ideas, though lacking in evidence, shaped the modern image of Atlantis as a place of mystery and wonder. They also set the stage for more rigorous scientific approaches in the 20th century, as we'll explore in the next section. The story of Atlantis doesn't exist in isolation. It's deeply intertwined with the histories and legends of other ancient civilizations. Take the Minoans, for instance. Flourishing on the island of Crete around 3600 BC, the Minoans were a seafaring society known for their advanced architecture, elaborate art, and sudden, mysterious decline. Some theorists argue that Plato's Atlantis might have been inspired by the Minoan civilization, particularly their dramatic collapse, possibly due to a catastrophic volcanic eruption on the nearby island of Thera. Could the grandeur of Atlantis have been a retelling of Minoan glory, amplified through centuries of oral tradition? Then there's Egypt, a civilization often linked to Atlantis in both myth and theory. Ancient Egyptian records speak of a powerful island nation that existed long before their own time, a land of immense knowledge and technology. Some speculate that Atlantean survivors might have shared their wisdom with the Egyptians, influencing their monumental achievements in architecture, astronomy, and governance. The parallels are intriguing, especially when you consider how both cultures revered the sun and built structures that have baffled modern engineers. The Mayans, too, enter the conversation. Known for their precise calendars, towering pyramids, and sudden disappearance, the Mayans have often been portrayed as inheritors of lost knowledge. Could their understanding of the cosmos and their intricate city designs trace back to a shared Atlantean heritage? Theorists have even pointed to similarities in flood myths across these civilizations, suggesting a collective memory of a cataclysmic event, one that might have erased a once thriving society from history. What makes these connections so compelling is the idea that Atlantis might represent more than just a physical place. It could symbolize a universal longing for a lost golden age, a time when humanity was united, enlightened, and in harmony with nature. This blending of myth and history invites us to see Atlantis not just as a sunken city, but as a story that resonates across cultures, reflecting our shared fascination with the mysteries of our past. Could it be that Atlantis is less about a specific location and more about the human yearning to uncover the secrets of our origins? As we explore these theories, we're left with a question that has no easy answer. Was Atlantis a real place that inspired these civilizations, or is it a tale born from the echoes of their achievements? Whatever the truth, the enduring allure of Atlantis lies in its ability to connect us across time and culture to the timeless quest for understanding who we are and where we came from. Could the story of Atlantis be rooted in a real geological event? Many researchers believe that the legend might have been inspired by a catastrophic natural disaster. Massive events like volcanic eruptions or tsunamis have shaped human history, wiping out entire civilizations and leaving behind only fragments of their existence. One of the most compelling theories points to the eruption of Thera, a volcanic island in the Aegean Sea, which today we know as Santorini. Around 3,600 years ago, this eruption was one of the most powerful in human history, reshaping the surrounding area and leaving a lasting impact on nearby cultures. The Minoan civilization, centered on the island of Crete, was thriving at the time. Known for their advanced architecture, art, and maritime trade, the Minoans were a dominant force in the Mediterranean. The eruption of Thera, just 70 miles north of Crete, would have sent tsunamis crashing into their cities, buried settlements under ash, and disrupted their economy. Some scholars argue that this event could have been the catalyst for the decline of the Minoan civilization, and over time, the memory of this disaster may have evolved into the legend of Atlantis. What makes this theory particularly fascinating is how it bridges science and myth. Plato's description of Atlantis speaks of a technologically advanced society that fell into the sea in a single day and night of misfortune, a phrase that could easily describe the aftermath of a volcanic eruption or a tsunami. Geological evidence, including layers of ash and pumice found on Crete and other nearby islands, supports the idea that the Thera eruption had widespread and devastating effects. Could the story of Atlantis be an ancient retelling of this real-life catastrophe, passed down through generations and embellished over time? The intersection of science and myth in the search for Atlantis offers a unique perspective on how human cultures process trauma and mystery. While the legend of Atlantis may never be fully proven, it serves as a reminder of the power of nature to shape our world and our stories. The story of Atlantis isn't just a tale of a lost civilization. It's a reflection of humanity's timeless fascination with myths and their deeper meanings. Across cultures, myths often serve as mirrors, revealing our fears, values, and collective imagination. In the case of Atlantis, mythology plays a central role in shaping how we interpret its story. Themes like hubris, divine punishment, and the rise and fall of great societies weave through the narrative, echoing universal truths about the human condition. Take hubris, for example, a recurring thread in myths worldwide. The idea that pride leads to downfall is central to the Atlantis legend. Plato's account portrays the Atlanteans as a once noble people who grew greedy and corrupt, ultimately earning the wrath of the gods. This theme isn't unique to Atlantis. In Greek mythology, Icarus flies too close to the sun, and in Norse tales, excessive ambition leads to chaos. These stories remind us that even the mightiest can falter when they overreach. Flood myths, too, offer striking parallels. Stories like Noah's Ark and the Mesopotamian epic of Gilgamesh share a common thread: a catastrophic deluge that wipes out a flawed civilization. These narratives suggest a shared human anxiety about the fragility of our existence and the power of nature to reset the balance. The Atlantis story fits neatly into this pattern, blending fantasy with cautionary wisdom. But why do these themes resonate so deeply? Perhaps it's because they tap into something primal, a collective memory of past catastrophes or a subconscious fear of repeating our mistakes. Myths like Atlantis give us a way to explore these ideas safely through the lens of storytelling. They allow us to ponder the rise and fall of civilizations, the consequences of our actions, and the enduring mystery of what lies beneath the waves. By comparing Atlantis to other myths, we see not just a singular tale but a piece of a much larger puzzle. It's a reminder that, across time and cultures, humanity has always been drawn to stories of lost worlds, places that challenge our understanding of history and ignite our imagination. Whether Atlantis was real or not, its place in mythology ensures it will continue to captivate us for generations to come. The legend of Atlantis has not only captivated historians and archaeologists, but has also left an indelible mark on popular culture. From the pages of classic literature to the silver screen, Atlantis has become a canvas for storytelling, blending myth, adventure, and imagination. One of the earliest and most influential portrayals comes from Jules Verne's timeless novel, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. In this masterpiece, Verne takes readers on a journey aboard the Nautilus, where Captain Nemo reveals the ruins of a sunken civilization. This haunting depiction of Atlantis as a lost world beneath the waves has inspired countless interpretations, cementing its place in the collective imagination. Decades later, Disney's animated film Atlantis, The Lost Empire, brought the legend to life for a new generation. With its vibrant animation and adventurous plot, the movie reimagines Atlantis as a technologically advanced society hidden from the modern world. This portrayal taps into the allure of Atlantis as a symbol of both human ingenuity and the mysteries that lie beyond our reach. It's not just a story of discovery, but a reflection of our fascination with the unknown and the tantalizing possibility that such a place could exist. Beyond literature and film, Atlantis has also found its way into art and other media. Painters have depicted its grandeur and downfall, often using the legend as a metaphor for hubris and the fragility of civilizations. Video games, comic books, and even theme park attractions have drawn inspiration from its mystique, each offering a unique take on the lost city. These adaptations have shaped how we perceive Atlantis, transforming it from a philosophical concept into a pop culture icon. What makes Atlantis so enduring is its ability to straddle the line between history and fantasy. It's a story that invites us to explore the boundaries of human achievement while reminding us of the forces that can bring even the greatest civilizations to their knees. Whether as a cautionary tale or a source of wonder, Atlantis continues to captivate audiences, proving that some legends never fade. When it comes to the hunt for Atlantis, archaeology faces a unique set of challenges. How do you search for a civilization that, if it existed, might have vanished over 11,000 years ago? Unlike other ancient sites that leave behind tangible traces, ruins, pottery, or even written records, Atlantis presents a question mark wrapped in mystery. The primary source of its story, Plato's dialogues, offers a tantalizing description but lacks specific geographic coordinates. This has led to decades of speculation, expeditions, and heated debates within the archaeological community. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Atlantis enigma is the sheer variety of locations where researchers have claimed to find it, from the Mediterranean Sea to the Atlantic Ocean, and even as far as Antarctica. Theories abound. In the Mediterranean, some have pointed to the island of Santorini, where the eruption of the volcano Thera around 1600 BC wiped out the Minoan civilization. Could this cataclysmic event have inspired Plato's tale? In the Atlantic, explorers have speculated about submerged landmasses near the Azores or even the Bahamas, where unusual underwater formations like the Bimini Road have sparked curiosity. But here's the catch: mainstream archaeology remains deeply skeptical. While these sites have their own fascinating histories, none have yielded conclusive evidence tying them to Atlantis. The absence of definitive artifacts, inscriptions, or structures matching Plato's description has left most experts unconvinced. Archaeology thrives on physical proof, and without it, Atlantis remains in the realm of legend rather than history. That hasn't stopped dedicated seekers from launching expeditions, often fueled by a mix of curiosity and passion. Take, for example, the work of oceanographer Robert Ballard, who famously discovered the wreck of the Titanic. While Ballard hasn't focused on Atlantis specifically, his exploration of underwater ruins has highlighted the difficulties of searching beneath the waves. Sunken cities like Heracleion off the coast of Egypt remind us that civilizations can disappear beneath the water, but they also leave behind evidence. The debate over Atlantis isn't just about whether it existed, it's also about how we interpret the past. For some, Atlantis represents a lost utopia, a symbol of human ingenuity swallowed by the sea. For others, it's a cautionary tale, a reminder of nature's power, and for skeptics, it's a lesson in distinguishing between myth and reality. What's undeniable is that the story of Atlantis continues to captivate, inspiring both serious research and imaginative speculation. Whether as history or myth, its legacy endures. Plato's account of Atlantis places its existence at a staggering 9,000 years before his own time, putting it around 11,600 years ago today. But here's the twist: this timeline doesn't align with what we know of recorded human history. Civilization as we recognize it, with cities, writing, and complex societies, only began to emerge around 5,000 years ago. So how could an advanced civilization like Atlantis have thrived so far beyond our documented past? This discrepancy has fueled endless debates among scholars and enthusiasts alike. Was Plato exaggerating for dramatic effect, or could he have misinterpreted ancient records passed down to him? Some suggest that the 9,000 years might not be literal but symbolic, representing a distant, almost mythical past rather than a precise historical date. Others propose that Plato might have been inspired by real events, like the volcanic eruption on Thera around 1600 BCE, which devastated the Minoan civilization and left a lasting imprint on collective memory. Could he have merged fragments of this catastrophe with older legends to create the story of Atlantis? The timeline raises more questions than answers, challenging us to think critically about how ancient stories are told and preserved. What's clear is that Plato's account of Atlantis remains a fascinating puzzle, one that continues to captivate our imagination and push the boundaries of what we think we know about history. The notion that Atlantis might have been a technologically advanced civilization has fueled endless fascination and speculation. What if, thousands of years ago, this legendary society achieved innovations that rival or even surpass our modern capabilities? Some theories suggest that the Atlanteans mastered engineering on a scale that seems almost unimaginable, building monumental structures with precision and efficiency that defy conventional understanding. Their cities, as described in ancient accounts, were said to be marvels of design with intricate canals, towering temples, and advanced infrastructure that could harness natural forces for their benefit. One of the most intriguing ideas revolves around their supposed use of energy sources, particularly crystals. Proponents of this theory argue that the Atlanteans tapped into the power of crystals to generate energy, heal the sick, and even manipulate their environment. These claims, though lacking in scientific evidence, have captured the imagination of many, inspiring modern pseudoscientific narratives and even influencing certain New Age and spiritual movements. The idea of a civilization harnessing crystal energy has become a staple in popular culture, blurring the lines between ancient myth and contemporary speculation. But how did these theories take root? Part of the allure lies in the mystery of Atlantis itself. With no concrete evidence of its existence, the legend becomes a canvas for imaginative interpretations. Some argue that the Atlanteans possessed knowledge of advanced physics, astronomy, and engineering knowledge that was lost when their civilization supposedly fell. These ideas have seeped into modern conspiracy theories, with some claiming that remnants of Atlantean technology are hidden in plain sight, waiting to be rediscovered. While these theories are undeniably captivating, they also raise important questions about the intersection of myth and reality. How much of these claims is rooted in historical possibility, and how much is pure fantasy? The story of Atlantis continues to inspire, serving as both a cautionary tale and a source of wonder, reminding us of humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown and the possibility that our ancestors might have achieved greatness beyond our comprehension. So, how did Atlantis meet its end? Theories about its destruction are as varied as they are fascinating, each offering a glimpse into the fears and anxieties that have haunted humanity for centuries. One of the most compelling ideas centers around natural disasters, events so devastating they could obliterate an entire civilization. Imagine an earthquake so powerful it shatters the ground beneath your feet, or a tsunami rising like a wall of water, swallowing everything in its path. Volcanic eruptions, too, could have played a role, with ash and lava burying the city in moments. These natural forces are not just possibilities, they're reminders of how fragile even the mightiest civilizations can be. But what if Atlantis fell not to a sudden cataclysm, but to a slower, more insidious threat? Some researchers suggest that rising sea levels, a consequence of climate change, could have gradually drowned the island. This theory strikes a particularly poignant chord today as we face our own battles with a changing environment. Could Atlantis be an ancient warning, a story that echoes our modern fears of a planet in peril? These theories, whether rooted in sudden disaster or gradual decline, share a common thread. They reflect humanity's deep-seated awareness of our vulnerability. The legend of Atlantis, then, becomes more than just a tale of a lost city. It's a mirror held up to our own anxieties about the forces that could one day undo us. From earthquakes to rising seas, the story of Atlantis reminds us that even the greatest civilizations are not immune to the power of nature. And perhaps in that reminder lies a call to action, a nudge to protect the world we inhabit before history repeats itself. The idea of Atlantis as part of a larger lost continent is one of the most fascinating layers in this enduring mystery. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, another wave of speculation emerged, suggesting Atlantis was connected to other legendary landmasses like Lemuria or Mu. These theories captured the imagination of many, blending myth with early scientific curiosity. Lemuria, for example, was first proposed as a hypothetical land bridge to explain similarities between species in India and Madagascar. Over time, it morphed into a speculative civilization, often intertwined with Atlantis lore. Similarly, Mu was described as a vast Pacific continent said to have vanished beneath the waves, with some claiming it was the true origin of human civilization. These theories thrived in an era when the map of the world's geological history was still being drawn, and gaps in knowledge left room for imaginative leaps. Yet, as modern geology advanced, the foundations of these theories crumbled. Plate tectonics, seismic studies, and ocean floor mapping have provided a clear picture of Earth's history, one that leaves no room for lost continents like Lemuria or Mu. The evidence simply doesn't support their existence. What's particularly interesting is how these theories, despite being scientifically discredited, have left a lasting mark on the Atlantis narrative. They've added layers of intrigue, blending science and folklore in ways that continue to captivate. This blend of myth and misplaced science highlights a recurring theme in the Atlantis story: the human desire to fill the unknown with tales of lost grandeur and mystery. While the lost continent theories may not hold up under scrutiny, they remind us why Atlantis remains such a compelling legend. It's a canvas for our imagination, shaped by both the mysteries of the past and the questions we still seek to answer. Plato's description of Atlantis placed it beyond the Pillars of Hercules, widely believed to be the Strait of Gibraltar, and firmly in the Atlantic Ocean. This has led many to focus their search for the lost civilization in this vast, mysterious expanse of water. But here's the catch: the Atlantic Ocean is enormous, reaching depths that even modern technology struggles to fully explore. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the haystack spans millions of square miles and plunges thousands of feet into the abyss. One of the most intriguing areas of focus has been the Azores and the Canary Islands, both of which have been proposed as potential remnants of Atlantis. Expeditions to these regions have uncovered underwater formations that some believe could be man-made structures, hinting at a once thriving civilization. But the evidence remains inconclusive. For every discovery, there are skeptics who argue that these formations could be entirely natural, shaped by volcanic activity or erosion over millennia. The challenge lies in distinguishing between the work of nature and the hand of an ancient, advanced society. Despite the lack of definitive proof, the allure of finding Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean continues to draw researchers and adventurers. The idea that a sophisticated civilization could have existed so far from our modern understanding of history is tantalizing. It challenges us to rethink what we know about ancient human capabilities and the mysteries that still lie hidden beneath the waves. The search for Atlantis, even in this vast and daunting ocean, reminds us that some of the greatest stories from our past may still be waiting to be uncovered. The idea of Atlantis nestled within the Mediterranean Sea offers a fascinating alternative to the more commonly discussed Atlantic Ocean theory. This perspective shifts our focus to the ancient Minoan civilization, which flourished on the island of Crete around 3,600 years ago. Known for its advanced architecture, intricate art, and sophisticated society, the Minoans were a powerhouse of the ancient world. But what connects them to the lost city of Atlantis? The volcanic island of Thera, modern-day Santorini, sits just north of Crete and plays a central role in this theory. Around 1650 before the Common Era, Thera experienced one of the most catastrophic volcanic eruptions in recorded history. The explosion was so immense that it likely triggered tsunamis, devastated nearby settlements, and left a lasting impact on the region. Some researchers suggest that this event could have inspired Plato's tale of a mighty civilization swallowed by the sea. Plato's description of Atlantis as an advanced society that fell out of favor with the gods aligns remarkably well with the Minoan world. The sudden decline of their civilization, coupled with the geological evidence from Thera, paints a compelling picture. The Minoans' palace at Knossos, with its labyrinthine structure, even mirrors Plato's account of Atlantis's grand architecture. Yet, the Mediterranean theory is not without its skeptics. Critics argue that Plato's writings place Atlantis beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which are traditionally identified as the Strait of Gibraltar. This would place the lost city in the Atlantic Ocean, not the Mediterranean. However, some scholars propose that the Pillars of Hercules could have been a different location in ancient times, leaving the door open for reinterpretation. The debate over Atlantis's true location continues to captivate historians, archaeologists, and enthusiasts alike. Whether in the Mediterranean or the Atlantic, the story of Atlantis serves as a powerful reminder of humanity's fascination with the mysteries of the past. As we piece together the clues left by ancient civilizations, we inch closer to understanding whether Atlantis was a historical reality or a timeless myth. Could the legendary lost city of Atlantis lie hidden beneath the murky depths of the Bermuda Triangle? This infamous stretch of ocean, known for its baffling disappearances and unexplained phenomena, has long been linked to the Atlantis myth. Some theorists propose that the triangle's strange events, vanishing ships, malfunctioning compasses, and eerie electromagnetic anomalies might be tied to remnants of Atlantis's advanced technology buried thousands of years ago. According to these ideas, the Atlanteans could have possessed knowledge far beyond their time, and their sunken civilization might still emit energy, disrupting the triangle to this day. Of course, these theories thrive on speculation rather than hard evidence. Scientists have repeatedly pointed out that the Bermuda Triangle's reputation largely stems from exaggerated stories and natural explanations, like unpredictable weather patterns and powerful ocean currents. Yet, the allure of connecting these two enduring mysteries is undeniable. The idea that Atlantis might be the key to the triangle's secrets adds an irresistible layer of intrigue, blending ancient myth with modern enigma. What's fascinating is how these theories persist despite the lack of concrete proof. They tap into our fascination with the unknown, offering a tantalizing narrative that bridges history and mystery. Whether or not Atlantis and the Bermuda Triangle are connected, the stories surrounding them remind us of humanity's endless curiosity and our desire to find meaning in the unexplainable. The story of Atlantis has captivated imaginations for centuries, but it's not just ancient historians and philosophers who have shaped its legacy. Enter pseudoscience, a realm where speculation often blurs the line between fact and fiction. Over the years, various figures and fringe theories have woven themselves into the Atlantis narrative, adding layers of intrigue and controversy. One of the most notable contributors was Edgar Cayce, an American mystic in the early 20th century who claimed to have psychic visions of Atlantis. Cayce described it as a highly advanced civilization that harnessed mysterious technologies, including what he called crystal energy. According to him, these massive crystals powered everything from Atlantis's cities to its warships, ultimately leading to its downfall. His vivid, though unverified, accounts captured the public's imagination, cementing Atlantis as a symbol of lost technological wonder. But Cayce's theories are just the tip of the iceberg. Over time, pseudoscientific ideas about Atlantis have multiplied, often blending with other fringe beliefs. Some theorists suggest that Atlanteans possessed extraterrestrial technology, while others argue they were in contact with alien civilizations. These claims often draw on misinterpreted archaeological findings or ancient texts, twisting them to fit a preconceived narrative. For instance, the idea that Atlantis used crystal power has become a staple in New Age circles, with some even claiming that modern crystal healing practices trace their roots back to this lost civilization. While these stories are undeniably fascinating, they often lack credible evidence or scientific backing. The rise of pseudoscience around Atlantis raises an important question. Why are we so drawn to these fantastical explanations? Perhaps it's the allure of mystery, the desire to believe in a world more extraordinary than our own. Or maybe it's the way these theories fill in the gaps left by incomplete historical records. Whatever the reason, the impact on public perception is undeniable. Atlantis has become not just a lost city, but a canvas for our wildest imaginations, a place where ancient wisdom, advanced technology, and even extraterrestrial life converge. Yet, this fascination comes with a caveat. While pseudoscientific theories can spark curiosity and creativity, they also risk distorting our understanding of history and science. This is why critical thinking is essential when examining claims about Atlantis or any other historical mystery. By questioning sources, evaluating evidence, and distinguishing between fact and fantasy, we can appreciate the story of Atlantis without losing sight of reality. After all, the truth behind this legendary civilization is compelling enough on its own, even without the embellishments of pseudoscience, and who knows? Perhaps the real story of Atlantis, once uncovered, will prove even more extraordinary than the myths. Modern science has taken the mystery of Atlantis into uncharted waters, blending ancient tales with cutting-edge technology. Tools like sonar mapping and underwater archaeology have revolutionized the search for lost civilizations, offering glimpses into depths previously thought unreachable. Scientists now scan the ocean floor with precision, hunting for clues that might align with Plato's descriptions of a sunken city. Yet, despite these advancements, the challenge of proving or disproving Atlantis remains immense. The ocean is vast, and time has a way of erasing even the grandest of structures. One of the most fascinating aspects of this modern quest is how technology has allowed us to explore areas once deemed inaccessible. Underwater drones, high-resolution sonar, and advanced imaging techniques have uncovered submerged ruins that hint at ancient human activity. These discoveries, while not definitive proof of Atlantis, remind us of how much we still have to learn about our planet's history. The search itself has become a testament to human curiosity and our relentless drive to uncover the past. But science isn't just about finding Atlantis, it's also about understanding why the story endures. Researchers examine geological evidence, studying ancient tsunamis and tectonic shifts that could have inspired such legends. They analyze sediment layers and fossil records to piece together the environmental conditions of the distant past. This multidisciplinary approach doesn't just focus on Atlantis. It reshapes our understanding of ancient civilizations and their interactions with the natural world. What makes this pursuit so captivating is the balance between skepticism and wonder. Science demands evidence, yet the allure of Atlantis keeps us asking questions. Could there be a grain of truth in the myth, or is it a blend of imagination and historical fragments? As technology continues to evolve, so does the possibility of finding answers, or perhaps unveiling new mysteries entirely. The story of Atlantis, whether fact or fiction, reminds us that the past is a puzzle still being pieced together, one discovery at a time. The story of Atlantis has transcended its ancient origins, weaving itself into the fabric of art, literature, and philosophy across centuries. This mythical civilization, though lost to time, has become a powerful symbol, resonating with themes that still captivate us today. One of the most enduring aspects of the Atlantis legend is its portrayal of human ambition and hubris. From Plato's original dialogues to modern interpretations, Atlantis serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of overreaching and the consequences of ignoring the natural world. It's a reminder that even the most advanced societies are not immune to collapse, a theme that feels eerily relevant in our own era of environmental challenges. In literature, Atlantis has inspired countless works, from Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea to modern science fiction. Its allure lies in its dual nature, both a utopia and a warning. Writers have used the legend to explore ideas of lost knowledge, forgotten civilizations, and the thin line between progress and destruction. the island's sudden disappearance has also made it a potent metaphor for societal fragility, inviting readers to reflect on their own world's vulnerabilities. Artists, too, have been drawn to Atlantis, capturing its grandeur and tragedy in paintings, sculptures, and films. Depictions of the submerged city often evoke a sense of wonder and melancholy, blending beauty with a haunting message. These works remind us of the impermanence of human achievements and the enduring power of nature. Philosophically, Atlantis has sparked debates about the nature of knowledge and the limits of human understanding. It challenges us to question what we know about history, science, and our place in the universe. Is Atlantis purely a myth, or could it be based on fragments of truth? This ambiguity keeps the story alive, inviting each generation to reinterpret it in light of their own experiences. Today, Atlantis continues to hold a mirror to our society. It's invoked in discussions about climate change, resource depletion, and the consequences of unchecked ambition. The legend reminds us that our actions have lasting impacts, urging us to learn from the past as we navigate an uncertain future. Whether as a symbol of lost glory or a warning of potential collapse, Atlantis remains a timeless tale, weaving its way through the threads of human creativity and thought. The story of Atlantis, often framed as a tale of hubris and divine retribution, carries a striking relevance in today's world, especially when we consider our relationship with the environment. According to Plato's account, the civilization of Atlantis was a marvel of its time, rich in resources and advanced in technology. Yet its downfall came not from external forces, but from within. Its people's greed and disregard for the natural balance led to their catastrophic end. This ancient narrative mirrors modern anxieties about climate change and environmental degradation, offering a chilling parallel to the challenges we face today. Take a moment to reflect on the similarities. Just as Atlantis is said to have exploited its resources to the point of collapse, humanity today is pushing the planet's ecosystems to their limits. Overconsumption, deforestation, and pollution are just a few of the ways we're testing the resilience of our environment. The myth of Atlantis serves as a poignant reminder that even the most powerful civilizations are not immune to the consequences of their actions. What makes this story particularly compelling is its timeless message of accountability. The Atlanteans, as described by Plato, were warned by the gods to change their ways, but they ignored those warnings, leading to their ultimate demise. In our case, the warnings come from scientists, activists, and even the visible changes in our climate. The question is, will we heed these warnings, or are we destined to repeat the mistakes of the past? The Atlantis myth also invites us to consider the broader implications of environmental stewardship. It's not just about avoiding disaster, it's about fostering a harmonious relationship with the natural world. By viewing Atlantis as a cautionary tale, we can draw inspiration to rethink our priorities, innovate sustainable solutions, and take collective action to protect the planet for future generations. In many ways, the story of Atlantis is more than a myth. It's a call to reflect on our own actions and their long-term consequences. It challenges us to learn from the past, not just as a lesson in history, but as a guide for shaping a more sustainable future. As we navigate the complexities of climate change and environmental preservation, the tale of Atlantis reminds us that the choices we make today will echo far into the future. The debate surrounding Atlantis is as vast and deep as the ocean itself. On one side, proponents argue that the story, first told by Plato over 2,000 years ago, is rooted in historical truth. They point to ancient texts that describe a highly advanced civilization with impressive engineering feats, suggesting that such details couldn't have been purely fictional. Some even cite geological anomalies, like the discovery of submerged structures and unusual formations on the ocean floor, as potential evidence of a lost city. Could these be the remnants of Atlantis buried beneath the waves for millennia? Skeptics, however, remain unconvinced. They argue that without concrete archaeological proof, like inscriptions, artifacts, or definitive ruins, Atlantis remains firmly in the realm of myth. Critics also question the reliability of Plato's account, suggesting it was more likely an allegory or moral lesson rather than a historical record. After all, Plato himself described Atlantis as a tale passed down through generations, leaving room for doubt about its factual basis. One of the biggest challenges in this debate is the sheer scale of time and the changes our planet has undergone. If Atlantis did exist, it would have been submerged around 9,000 years before Plato's time, making it nearly 12,000 years ago. The geological and climatic shifts since then make it incredibly difficult to pinpoint any specific location or gather irrefutable evidence. Despite these challenges, the fascination with Atlantis persists. For some, it's the allure of uncovering a lost civilization that could rewrite history. For others, it's the mystery itself, the possibility that there's still so much we don't know about our past. This ongoing debate isn't just about proving or disproving the existence of Atlantis. It's about exploring the limits of human knowledge and understanding. What if Atlantis is more than just a story? And even if it's not, why does it continue to capture our imagination centuries later? These questions keep the conversation alive, ensuring that the legend of Atlantis will remain a topic of intrigue for generations to come. Throughout history, the search for Atlantis has inspired countless expeditions, each driven by a blend of curiosity, ambition, and the hope of uncovering one of the world's greatest mysteries. One of the earliest recorded attempts was by American politician and amateur archaeologist Ignatius Donnelly in the late 19th century. He theorized that Atlantis was a real, advanced civilization and that its remnants could be found in the Atlantic Ocean. Donnelly's work, though criticized by scholars, sparked a wave of interest that continues to this day. In the 20th century, expeditions became more sophisticated, using cutting-edge technology to explore potential locations. One notable figure was Charles Berlitz, a linguist and author who became famous for his books on the Bermuda Triangle and Atlantis. Berlitz believed the island nation might have sunk near the Bahamas, and he led expeditions in the 1970s to search for underwater ruins. While his findings were inconclusive, they reignited public fascination with the legend. More recently, modern explorers have turned to satellite imagery and advanced sonar mapping to scour the ocean floor. One such effort was led by a team of researchers in 2011, who claimed to have discovered what appeared to be man-made structures off the coast of Spain. Their findings, however, were met with skepticism from the scientific community, highlighting the ongoing debate between believers and skeptics. What unites these expeditions is the unwavering determination of those involved. Whether armed with ancient texts, sonar technology, or sheer intuition, these explorers share a common goal: to prove that Atlantis was more than just a story. Their efforts remind us that the pursuit of knowledge often requires stepping into the unknown, even when the odds are stacked against you. And so, the search for Atlantis continues, a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the mysteries of the past. The legend of Atlantis has a unique power to ignite the imagination, not just as a story of a lost civilization, but as a symbol of the unknown and the extraordinary. It's more than just a tale. It's a gateway to the mysteries that lie beyond the edge of what we know. At its core, Atlantis represents the allure of discovery, the tantalizing possibility that somewhere beneath the waves or buried in the sands of time, there's a world of untold secrets waiting to be uncovered. This idea of a hidden utopia, a place of advanced knowledge and culture, speaks to something deep within us, the desire to explore, to solve the unsolvable, and to find meaning in the unknown. What makes Atlantis so enduring is its ability to blend fact and fiction in a way that feels real, yet just out of reach. It's a story that invites us to wonder, what if? What if a civilization like this truly existed? What if we could uncover its secrets? This sense of possibility transforms Atlantis from a mere myth into a mirror for our own curiosity and ambition. It's not just about a lost city, it's about the endless human quest for knowledge and the thrill of the unknown. Atlantis also taps into a universal fascination with the idea of rediscovery. It's the ultimate archaeological treasure hunt, a reminder that our world still holds mysteries we have yet to solve. Whether it's the allure of ancient technology, the romance of a forgotten culture, or the simple thrill of adventure, the story of Atlantis has something for everyone. It's a reminder that, even in our modern age, there are still uncharted territories, both physical and intellectual, waiting to be explored. This is why Atlantis continues to captivate us. It's not just a legend, it's an invitation to dream, to question, and to imagine what might lie just beyond the horizon. The story of Atlantis, whether rooted in history or born of myth, carries with it timeless lessons that resonate deeply with our modern world. At its core, the tale serves as a cautionary reminder of hubris, the idea that excessive pride or overconfidence can lead to downfall. The Atlanteans, as the story goes, were a powerful and advanced civilization, but their arrogance and misuse of their gifts ultimately brought about their destruction. It's a theme that echoes in our own time, urging us to consider how we wield the knowledge and technologies at our disposal. Are we using them wisely, or are we repeating the same mistakes? Yet, Atlantis isn't just a story of failure. It's also one of resilience and the enduring human spirit. The legend challenges us to confront the unknown, to explore mysteries that lie beyond our understanding, and to persist even when answers seem elusive. This pursuit of knowledge, this drive to uncover the truth, is a fundamental part of what makes us human. The search for Atlantis itself has inspired countless explorers, scientists, and thinkers to push the boundaries of what we know, reminding us that curiosity is a powerful force. But here's the twist: the legend also invites us to question our assumptions. What if Atlantis isn't a lost city beneath the waves, but a metaphor for something greater? Could it represent the fragility of human achievement, or perhaps the uncharted territories of our own potential? The beauty of the Atlantis story lies in its ability to provoke thought and spark debate. It encourages us to balance our curiosity with critical thinking, to ask questions, but also to evaluate the evidence and avoid being swept away by unfounded claims. In a world filled with uncertainty and rapid change, the lessons of Atlantis feel more relevant than ever. They remind us to approach the unknown with both wonder and caution, to embrace the pursuit of knowledge while remaining grounded in reason. Whether Atlantis was a real place or a figment of imagination, its legacy endures as a call to explore, to question, and to seek truth with both humility and determination. As we stand on the brink of a new era in scientific discovery, the search for Atlantis is entering an exciting chapter. Emerging technologies are revolutionizing the way we investigate the unknown, and the mystery of this fabled civilization is no exception. Artificial intelligence, for instance, is now being used to analyze vast amounts of ancient texts, maps, and geological data, uncovering patterns that might point to the lost city's location. Imagine sifting through centuries of myth and legend with the precision of a machine, identifying clues that human researchers might overlook. This isn't science fiction, it's the cutting edge of modern Atlantean research. Deep sea exploration is another game changer. Advances in robotics and underwater imaging are allowing scientists to reach depths that were once inaccessible. Entire ecosystems and geological formations are being discovered in the ocean's uncharted regions, raising the tantalizing possibility that Atlantis could lie beneath the waves. Recent discoveries of submerged ruins and ancient artifacts off the coasts of Greece, Spain, and the Caribbean have already sparked new theories about where Atlantis might have been. With each dive, we're one step closer to solving this age-old puzzle. But perhaps the most promising development is the rise of interdisciplinary collaboration. Archaeologists, geologists, oceanographers, and historians are now working together, pooling their expertise to tackle the Atlantis enigma from every angle. This holistic approach is essential for piecing together a story that spans thousands of years and crosses multiple disciplines. When you combine the analytical power of AI, the exploratory reach of deep-sea technology, and the collective knowledge of experts from diverse fields, the chances of finding Atlantis grow exponentially. The quest for Atlantis is more than just a search for a lost city. It's a testament to humanity's unyielding curiosity and thirst for knowledge. Every new discovery, whether it confirms a theory or challenges long-held beliefs, brings us closer to unraveling this ancient mystery. While we may not have all the answers yet, the tools and methods at our disposal today are more powerful than ever before. One day, the legend of Atlantis might no longer be a myth but a chapter in the story of human history. Until then, the search continues, driven by the hope that the truth is waiting to be uncovered. From the ancient writings of Plato to the cutting-edge technologies of modern science, the story of Atlantis has captivated humanity for centuries. We began with Plato's vivid account, where he described a powerful civilization that vanished beneath the waves in a single day and night. This tale, though set in an era long past, continues to resonate with us today, sparking debates and inspiring countless expeditions in search of truth. As we explored the theories, from the possibility of Atlantis being a metaphor for societal collapse to its potential connection to real historical events like the Eruption of Thera, one thing became clear: this legend is more than just a myth. It's a reflection of our unyielding desire to uncover the unknown, to piece together fragments of history that challenge our understanding of the world. The enduring mystery of Atlantis reminds us of the power of human curiosity. It's a story that has fueled imagination, driven scientific inquiry, and served as a symbol of resilience and the consequences of hubris. Whether it's a lost continent, an ancient city, or a cautionary tale, Atlantis continues to inspire us to look beyond the surface and question what lies beneath. So, what do you think? Is Atlantis a historical reality, a philosophical allegory, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you're as fascinated by the secrets of the past as I am, don't forget to subscribe and join me on this journey to uncover more of history's greatest mysteries. Together, let's keep exploring the unknown, one legend at a time.